Mourners at a memorial near the First Baptist Church in Sutherland Springs, Tex. Todd HeislerThe New York Times. 26 people were killed when Devin P. Kelley opened fire on Sunday at the First Baptist Church in Sutherland Springs, Tex, including a pregnant victim's unborn baby, officials said. Here are some of the lives that were lost. Robert and Shani Corrigan. Shani and Robert Corrigan. Robert and Shani Corrigan buried their 25-year-old son, Forrest, in December. His memorial service was held at the First Baptist Church in Sutherland Springs. Less than a year later, in that same church, Robert and Shani became victims of a mass shooting. They are survived by their sons Preston Corrigan and Benjamin Corrigan. Robert and Shani were high school sweethearts who moved to Texas after Robert retired as a Chief Master Sergeant in the Air Force after nearly 30 years of service, said Renee Haley, Director of Veterans Services for Clare County, Mich. Preston and Benjamin, following in their father's footsteps, are also in the Air Force. They are currently on active duty, Ms. Haley said. I am truly amazed at the strength of this amazing family, whose faith has not been shaken by this tragedy, Ms. Haley said in an email. The Holcomb family. Brian and Carla Holcomb via Reuters. 1 minute. The Holcombs were a tight-knit family praying in the tiny church on 4th Street. The next, 8 of them were gone. Brian and Carla Holcomb, a guest preacher and his wife, were dead. Their son Mark Daniel Holcomb, gone. Their pregnant daughter-in-law, Crystal Holcomb, gone. And 4 of their grandchildren, Noah, Emily, Megan and Greg, gone. The gunman nearly wiped out the Holcomb family, leaving Joe Holcomb, 86, Brian's father, to mourn the loss of the generations he had raised. We know where they are now, he said in an interview, his voice strained by exhaustion. All of our family members, they're all Christian. And it won't be long until we're with them. Read more here. Haley Kruger. 16, one of several children who died in the church shooting, had planned on attending the Galen College of Nursing in San Antonio. She wanted to work in the neonatal intensive care unit so that she could help babies. Her mother, Charlene UHL, said in a Facebook message. She was a vibrant, dramatic teenager, Ms. UHL wrote. She has 2 nephews that were the light of her life. She was excited for her future. Haley leaves behind 2 brothers, a sister and her grandfathers. Tara McNulty, 33, was a single mother raising her children Haley and James on her own. She struggled to make ends meet between a desk job and bartending shifts, said Amber Miracle, who described herself as Ms. McNulty's best friend, remembered her as a caring, great mother. Ms. McNulty became a mother while she was still a teenager, and Ms. Miracle said her friend's life revolved around her children. I wouldn't be surprised if she'd be protecting her children, because that was Tara, always protecting her babies, she said. Ms. McNulty's daughter, Haley, 15, is a sophomore at Floresville High School, and her son, James, is 12. Both of the children were wounded in the attack. Ms. Miracle reported that Haley is still in the hospital, and James underwent surgery at a hospital in San Antonio on Tuesday morning. Ms. Miracle's concern, now, was for the children. We have to make sure Tara's babies are taken care of, she said. Ms. Miracle met her friend in Louisiana, where Ms. McNulty had worked as a real estate agent before returning to her hometown, Sutherland Springs, 2 years ago. I always tried to convince her to move back to Louisiana, Ms. Miracle said, but she just kept saying, Sutherland Springs is my home. Ms. McNulty was the only child of Lisa McNulty, also a Sutherland Springs resident, who could not be reached on Tuesday. Ms. Miracle remembered her friend as super sarcastic, but so sweet too. The 2 had matching mermaid and unicorn keychains, and just hours before she was killed, Ms. McNulty made a teasing comment on Ms. Miracle's Facebook page. That was us, Ray called Ms. Miracle, her voice cracking, rocking chairs on the front porch, just talking, just laughing for hours. The day of the shooting, Ms. Miracle texted Ms. McNulty, that shooting is too close to you. Ms. McNulty never texted back. Richard and Teresa Rodriguez. Teresa and Richard Rodriguez. Richard Rodriguez was country, his daughter Regina told CNN in an interview accompanied by a photograph of her father sporting a black cowboy hat and dark handlebar mustache. He and his wife, Teresa, also killed in the shooting, had been married for 11 years. Teresa was Regina's stepmother. Richard and Teresa were longtime members of the First Baptist Church and sometimes took Regina's children to Sunday service. If they weren't at church, they were always in their yard working on their garden beds or cutting the grass, Regina said. Regina's oldest son emulated Richard's style, putting on the same kind of pants, boots, and hats. The oldest ones, they're the ones that are taking it hard, she told CNN of her children. Especially my Justin, he really looked up to my dad, she continued, just waiting for my dad to pull up when he would come on the weekends. The Ward family from left, Emily Garza, Joanne Ward, and Brooke Ward, 3 members of the Ward family D in the church shooting. Michael Ward, a surviving relative, told the Dallas Morning News. 2 of them were Mr. Ward's nieces, Brooke Ward, 5, and Emily Garza, 7. Another was their mother, Joanne Ward. Ryland Ward, Joanne's 5-year-old son, was also shot. Ryland liked to pretend he could drive, his uncle said, and once started a truck up when the adults were looking away. The child survived the shooting but faces a long recovery. The night of the shooting, the Dallas Morning News was at home with one of the Ward cousins, McKinley, 9. Alone in the family kitchen, she cried. 2 of her cousins were gone, and another had lost his family. Ryland is the only one left, she said. Lula Wojcinski-White Reuters. Lula Wojcinski-White was the grandmother of the gunman's estranged wife, Danielle Shields. I loved her very much, and she was my rock, Ms. White's sister, Mary Cliburn, said in a phone interview. She was just a wonderful person. Ms. White's granddaughter married Mr. Kelley in 2014. When asked if Ms. White had ever mentioned feeling threatened by Mr. Kelley, Ms. Cliburn said, "No, I don't think so. I don't think so. My sister loved God. My sister was a Christian woman." Friends and relatives shared their grief on social media. "I have no doubt where she is right now. She is in heaven laying her crowns and jewels at the feet of Jesus and celebrating," Amy Johnson Backus said in a post on Facebook. "I love and will miss you and Lula Wojcinski-White.